Hello Mavens, welcome to another series. It's time for you to prepare for e-commerce marketing. Do you know that the e-commerce business is 9.09 trillion USD dollars and it is expected to grow at compound annual growth rate of 22.07%, which is massive. New business are emerging and so are the audience on internet, which means if you are planning to make your current business online, then that is the wisest decision that you will ever take. But as you know, deciding is just a first step. Business marketing and strategizing your business is the most important part. And not to brag on ourselves, but for that, you have come to a right place. Because with the repetitive increase in our e-commerce client, we have decided to make a series on e-commerce. Because we at Mavenwit not only creates brand based on innovation, creativity and value, but we also try to give an educational content and informational content on branding and marketing. And just like our previous series, this series will also contain 3 parts. First, we'll talk about how can you start your e-commerce business and make a strategy accordingly. And in second video, we'll talk about how can you create your own e-commerce marketing strategy. And in third video, as usual, we'll talk about super tips and tricks for your exponential growth in e-commerce industry. So you see, in this series, we'll cover from what is e-commerce to formulating a strategy to grow exponentially on e-commerce. Because we don't want you to linger around anywhere to know more about e-commerce marketing. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so whenever the next video gets uploaded, you will be notified. And with that being said, this is Tanmay Tate from Mavenwit, and in this video, we'll talk about how to start an e-commerce business from scratch.
So the first and foremost, what is e-commerce? E-commerce is nothing but buying or selling goods on internet or even services on internet. That's it. Pretty simple, right? Anything that you sell online or a service that you sell online is what e-commerce is. And that is as simple as it gets. Now there are 4 types of e-commerce business: B2C, B2B, C2B and C2C. Number 1, B2C, which is business to consumer. B2C send their products to their end user. It is the most common business model. So there are many unique approaches for this model. Anything that you buy in online stores such as wardrobe, household supplies and so on and so forth comes in B2C category. Also, the decision process of B2C consumers are actually shortened because it's always easier to buy a new pair of shoes rather than deciding which email marketing consultancy you should go for. Number 2, business to business. Pretty much self-explanatory. B2B business model sells their product to another business. So buyer of the product has its own business. B2B transaction have high recurring purchases because of course they are selling it to the business. In 2020, close to 500 million B2B buyers are millennials, nearly doubling the amount from 2012. As the younger generation are coming into the entrepreneurship, more and more B2B transactions are reoccurring. And that's why B2B selling in online marketing is very important. Number 3, C2B, consumer to business. C2B businesses allows consumer to send their products to the companies itself. Affiliate marketing services is the best example for C2B model. The approach gives consumer the power to price their products and have businesses directly compete to their needs. The best example is for companies that are connected to social media influencers for the marketing purposes. That is a best example of C2B model. That brings us to number 4, C2C, consumer to consumer. C2C business is also called online marketplace. It connects consumer to exchange goods and services and typically make their own listing charges and transaction charges. Online businesses like eBay is the best example of C2C model. And these are the 4 types of e-commerce businesses. Now one question that you must be thinking, what is the scope of e-commerce business? With the internet coming into the action and more people being on internet and social media, e-commerce business is going to thrive and keep thriving at peak. As we started this video with the stat that over 22% growth will be done by year 2027 in e-commerce world. And that's why you need to start your own e-commerce business. And if you are thinking about it, these are the 3 parts of strategy that you need to keep in your mind. Number 1, product and market research. Number 2, business planning. And number 3, marketing strategy. Number 1 and 2 will be covered in this video itself, and the third one will be covered in the next video. So let's start with the first. Now number 1, product market research. A very important thing that people overlook is that branding comes before marketing. And similarly, your business product comes before your business plan. The only reason I'm telling you this is that only 30% of e-commerce stores are successful out of all of them. And this is not to scare you. This is actually for you to be in that 30%. And the reason why they are not successful is because they don't plan their product first. They plan their business and marketing strategy. And that's not a way to do it. And that's why let's start with product related research. So we'll assume that you have a great product idea and you already have product line. And the thing that you need to figure out first is testing your idea, testing your product. So if you are starting a new product line, you should definitely try that product line in offline world, just to know that whether people will like it or not. How do you do it? Number 1, well, just introduce your product to a person. Maybe give your product to him for free for users. Number 2, creating landing pages. Well, this will help you to know the demand of the product online as well by creating landing pages online and promoting it. Number 3, crowdfunding campaigns. Crowdfunding is a great way of funding new projects by large number of people and large number of donation coming into the picture. This is the most trending thing going around, and the reason for it is internet. And now we'll move on to the next one, which is product procurement. Now number 2, product procurement. Now how do you plan on obtaining your products? This is the most mainstream and the most first thing that you should consider while planning e-commerce store. Number 1, make your own product. That is manufacturing. Are you manufacturing your own product? Is your product manufactured by you and you only? Number 2, find a manufacturer outwards. This means you're selling the product that is made by someone else by your name. Number 3, by wholesaling, purchasing the products in bulk and then selling them. And number 4, drop shipping. Drop shipping basically means that you don't even have a product. All you are doing is purchasing it and selling it to someone else. So the thing is, what are you gonna do? Choose anyone from this and focus on the next thing, which is product features. So number 3 is product features. So the first thing that you should decide when you are thinking about product features are these 3 questions, and only you can answer it for yourself. Number 1, what will be the cost of your product in hand? Number 2, what types of problem your product is going to solve? And number 3, what will be your product's USP? So do you have the answers? If yes, that brings us to the fourth part, which is registration and taxes. It's really important to get to know your business before you launch it. The registered GST numbers, so on and so forth. It's really very important to know about that, and everything is online. You gotta move your hands on your keypads and get to know every taxation that is allocated when it comes to e-commerce and the business that you are running. And now that brings us to some of the questions that is more related to logistics and operational questions.
So few of the logistic and operational questions that you need to ask yourselves are: who will be your suppliers? How will you calculate the shipping rates? Of course, it depends on the various factors such as size, weight, origin, destination, but there are many logistic services that are out there who can help you with that. And another big factor to consider is the packaging. Will you do it yourself or are you outsourcing it? Well, branding is the most important part of the business. Now, if you're wondering that you don't want to deal with any of this, you can avoid it by opting alternative existing platforms. What are they? Well, stick with us. Let's discuss that.
Number 2 is business planning. But before we start planning, it's important for us to know which platform are we gonna target. And there are 3 platforms. Number 1, creating your own Shopify store. Number 2, creating website from scratch. And number 3, listing your products on already existing platform. Let's dive into it one by one to get to know all of them.
So number 1 is creating your Shopify store. But what is Shopify store? Shopify is one of the leading platforms in e-commerce world. And one of the best advantages of Shopify is it is extremely easy to use. If you're not a tech savvy person, Shopify has got you covered. They have a manager instilled for you to make sure you get everything that you are needed. The next best thing about Shopify is it has extremely good payment processors. They already have inbuilt payment processors such as Amazon, Apple Pay, PayPal, so on and so forth. And as a bonus, they have 100 plus payment integrated services so that all the currencies can be converted. That is just like an extra bonus for you. And if your business is international, it would come really very handy for you. The next best thing in e-commerce world is you need your website to be super fast when it comes to loading. The more time it takes to load, the lower gets your sales. And that's why Shopify has got you covered in that basis as well. Shopify websites has more loading speed than most of the websites. With some advantages, they also have a bit of disadvantages as well. One of them is it is hard to customize. Well, if you want to customize your own site, you'll have to learn their own PHP language, which is Liquid. And another disadvantage is pretty subjective. It can be a bit expensive. The free feature of Shopify has most of the things. But if you want to get most of the Shopify, you have to spend somewhere around $29 to $299. And if you're a small business, it can be a bit of hefty amount for you. And if you are a big business, it's just no brainer. Obviously, advantages overlook the disadvantages of Shopify, but it's totally up to you what you want to go for. If you want us to make a detailed video about Shopify, make sure you comment down below and we will make that one. Till then, let's move ahead.
So number 2 is creating your website from scratch. With the help of web developer, you can create your own website. Now you are the master of your own destiny. Now you are the controller of your own website. The benefits of this are it is extremely easy to use. There is no technical skill that is required to manage your own website. Number 2 is getting your website designed the way you want. It is not pre-designed and Google recognizes that. It also thinks that the website which are designed by you is more reliable than already pre-designed website. But again, it also has its own set of advantages and also disadvantages. One of them is web designing is an ongoing process. It requires technical skills to make your website. So that means you'll have to hire a freelancer or an agency to build your own website. And another set of disadvantage is you will need a person to handle that whole site. Replying to queries, disputes, designing when it's launched, updating the site and so on and so forth. You will definitely need a person for handling that whole website. But this disadvantage has its own advantage. It's definitely like blessing in disguise. Why? Because you don't have to worry everything about website now. All you have to do is worry about your business. How can you grow it rather than thinking about, okay, I have to reply to this one. I'll also have to solve this dispute. This product is not working and so on and so forth. You just have to focus your entire focus on making your business thrive. With that being said, let's talk about the third one. Now, number 3 is listing the products on alternative existing platform. What does this mean? This means listing your product on Amazon, Myntra, Flipkart, so on and so forth. When starting with these alternative platforms, there are several questions that should be in your mind. And let's talk about them one by one.
So when starting with these alternative platforms, the very first question that should arise in your mind is which platform is best suited for your business. You can decide upon it by doing a little research of your own, such as your competitor's platform, whether it is eBay, Myntra, Flipkart or Amazon. Which platform provides you with the higher market but lower competition? How is their merchant support system? How is their customer support system? Which platform has less fee charges? That's the question you need to answer. How good is their shipping process? Well, you don't want your products to go by their house 7 days later, right? And even if it does, are you doing it by yourself or they will be shipping it for you? Well, don't be scared. These are the best questions that you can ask yourself. Will they give you a system access and control? If yes, then how much? Are there any limitation in product listing? Are there any restriction to the areas to sell? Do they give you customer data? The payment mechanism? What are their return and refund policies? What are the dispute resolution policies? Are there any? Who provides the description copies? Are those copies SEO optimized? These are the questions that you really need to answer. Well, you also need to focus on the fact that the users using these platforms have shortest attention span. So your photos need to be super impressive and high quality. There is so much competition out there on this platform. The first impression is the biggest one. So make sure your photos are of good quality. and a billing one.
Well, now that we are done with the product research and creating a business strategy, we'll move on to the next phase, which is formulating an e-commerce marketing plan. That means where to start and how to do it. But that will be covered in the next part of this series. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. Whenever that video gets uploaded, you will be notified. Because without a good marketing plan, your products are not gonna sell. And don't worry, we have got it all covered. So stay tuned, and till then, this is Tanmay Thirte from Mavenwit, signing off.